News special report.
And good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kira Phillips. We're coming on the air because a federal judge has just dismissed the cases against former FBI Director James Comey and New York State Attorney General Letitia James. The judge ruling that President Trump's hand-picked U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan was illegally appointed by the Justice Department. It was just last week that Halligan admitted the entire grand jury had not seen the indictment against Comey, only a four-person and one other grand jury member. Comey's legal team arguing the prosecution was vindictive, accusing the president of targeting his political opponents. Halligan with no experience prosecuting criminal cases, by the way. Let's get straight to our Aaron Katursky, who's got the latest on the news breaking this hour. Aaron.
The judge in the Eastern District of Virginia, Kira, has dismissed the indictments both against former FBI Director James Comey and New York State Attorney General Letitia James because the appointment of Lindsay Halligan, he ruled, was defective, and therefore signing the indictments was a violation, an unlawful exercise of executive power. Therefore, the judge said those two indictments are hereby set aside. This is a victory for both Comey and for James, who argued that their cases were defective, in part because they did not like the way that President Trump handpicked Lindsay Halligan and installed her after firing a prosecutor that he also appointed, but who refused to charge James Comey and Letitia James for lack of evidence, we're told. So now the indictments against both of President Trump's political enemies have been dismissed, although the judge dismissed them without prejudice. And that means, Kira, that federal prosecutors can, if they so choose, try again to secure the indictments, perhaps once a permanent U.S. attorney is picked for the Eastern District of Virginia. Kira?
Aaron, thank you. Let's get now to our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas. Pierre, just to follow up on what Aaron just said, the fact that both cases now dismissed without prejudice, do you think we could...
Kira, I think that
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Now, DOJ obviously now is in a very difficult position in that they can bring the case again regarding both Comey and James, but the issue becomes there have been so many issues with the case. There's the allegations of vindictive prosecution in that, you know, the sequence of events with President Trump tweeting, posting on social media about the case. The notion that, as Aaron pointed out, that the previous Trump-appointed U.S. attorney had basically decided not to move forward with both the prosecutions, these indictments. And now the question that the process itself was unlawful. And so now there is a huge question at DOJ in terms of whether these cases should proceed or not. And that's going to be a thing Attorney General Pam Bondi, the Deputy Attorney General, are going to have to resolve.
All right, Pierre, thank you. A little bit of a tough connection there, but I think we got the majority of what you had to say. Let's get over to the White House now. Our Karen Travers, are we hearing anything more from the White House, from the president at this moment as the news breaks, Karen?
Not yet, Kira, but remember, back when the president had nominated Lindsay Halligan to this position, he called her a tough, smart, and loyal attorney and noted that she had worked for him for a long time. And remember, Kira, the president had put an immense amount of pressure on the attorney general to bring about these prosecutions. He had posted in a social media post that was addressed to Pam, referring to Pam Bondi, that she needed to do this. He said at the time, "We cannot delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility." And at the time, Kira, the president spoke to reporters and said that they had to act fast. And if some of these people were not guilty, that was fine. But if they were, they should be charged. After the FBI brought this indictment against Jim Comey, the president commended the work and thanked the FBI director Kash Patel for what he called brilliant work in bringing that indictment against Comey. Kira?
Karen, thank you. Let's bring in our John Carl. John Carl, you just came out with your latest book titled Retribution. When we look at how the prosecution here in both cases saying this is President Trump being vindictive, simply targeting his political opponents, we've witnessed the missteps and the mess within these cases from the very beginning. What does this tell you about Trump's efforts to go after those who were critical of him?
Well, it suggests that he's going to run into opposition in the courts. So we'll see that this is dismissed without prejudice, so it's possible that this ruling gets overturned. But to me, it's striking, looking at the opinion here from the judge actually refers specifically to what Donald Trump himself posted on his social media platform, that infamous post where he addresses what looked like it was a direct message, perhaps inadvertently posted for the world to see, directed to his attorney general. Pam, I've reviewed over 30 statements and posts saying essentially the same old story as last time. All talk, no action. Nothing is being done. What about Comey? Adam Shifty Shift, Letitia, and he goes on saying that he wants these people to be prosecuted. I, during the course of this, had been in touch with people in the Eastern District of Virginia where this case resides. Both these cases have resided. And, it was, as far as I could tell, open revolt among the career attorneys in that U.S. Attorney's office at the very idea that the president was pressuring the Attorney General to open a case that the opinion, unanimous opinion, as far as I could tell, of the attorneys in that office, that both these cases lacked merit. So, it's an extraordinary slapdown, citing the president's words, essentially agreeing not just with the crux of this, that the attorney that he put in, his former personal attorney Lindsey Halligan, was improperly put in charge of that U.S. Attorney's office, but also agreeing that this is vindictive prosecution.
Yeah, now you wonder if this will cause the president to take a pause here or try these cases again, possibly even go after others that he has named as political targets in the past. Aaron Katersky, I understand you have a statement now from Letitia James.
Just in from Letitia James after her indictment was dismissed, saying that she is heartened by what she calls today's victory and grateful for the prayers and support I have received from around the country. The Attorney General here in New York goes on to say, I remain fearless in the face of these baseless charges as I continue fighting for New Yorkers every single day. Letitia James, Kira, was always confident that the charges over a property in Virginia that she owns, and whether it was a proper residence or not, were always going to be dismissed on the merits. Here, the judge said that the actions taken by the prosecutor appointed by President Trump were unlawful because her appointment was invalid. And even though he dismissed the case without prejudice, meaning in theory it could be refiled, there may be, at least in the case of former FBI Director James Comey, statute of limitations that will butt up against the possibility of refiling the charges. So the path forward is a bit uncertain, but for now, as reflected in the statement from Letitia James, she said she is heartened by what she's calling today's victory. Kira?
President Trump has suggested going after others. Do you think what we're seeing happening today will stop him from doing that?
Well, there's certainly no telling. He has made clear that he is on a retribution campaign against his perceived political enemies. That could include Senator Adam Schiff. If that's all going to be concentrated in one prosecutorial district, the Eastern District of Virginia, there seemingly are problems that other cases could run into with the way Lindsey Halligan was appointed. We know that there may be separate investigations in other places. When it comes to Letitia James, the Northern District of New York in Albany is also believed to be investigating Letitia James. The prosecutor there may also have problems with the way he was appointed, Kira, at least according to James and her attorneys. So this campaign of retribution may not be as easy to come by as President Trump had hoped.
Aaron Katersky, thank you. Karen Travers, Pierre Thomas, also our John Carl, thank you all so much. Our coverage does continue on ABC News Live at abcnews.com. David Muir will be here with the entire team for World News Tonight. I'm Kira Phillips. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you over on Live.